now. I can deal with processing an animal, doing my own chickens, cleaning a deer, pulling rats out of a trap, but I cannot deal with spiders in the outhouse. No. Welcome back to the channel. I'm just stopping in at the cabin today because I'm on my way to pick up my pigs. In a previous YouTube video, I mentioned that I was going to be getting pigs this season for meat, not just for breeding. So that's where I'm headed right now. The place is just north of the cabin, so I thought I would quickly stop in here because, as we all know, I love to check the trail cam footage. I have Mason's camera that I'm going to put back up. I brought it home last time because I couldn't get the photos off of it when we were in the bush. However, when I got home, I still couldn't get the photos off it, so I'm just going to put it back and we're just going to use it to look at on the actual camera itself and just check and see what's coming by. I'm gonna swing down to where the other camera is and check that where the moose was. And of course I've got my shotgun just in case because we have 2 or 3 more days left of turkey season. So I'm gonna bring that just in case. This week has been insanely busy and I feel very behind on everything I've been doing. So I'm gonna quickly catch you up on what's been going on. I checked my beehives earlier this year and I noticed rodents had taken over again, and I don't really understand why, because I had put the 1/4-inch galvanized mesh across the bottom, so I don't know how they got in. They forced themselves out of one hive, and in the other 2 hives, I noticed that all my bees had died in one pile and there was still honey in the hive. So I'm thinking that maybe it was just too cold for them to move from the spot they were in. They ate the honey in the area they were at, and it was just too cold for them to move to other places. We did have some super cold days this winter, so I don't know if it was that. The spring has also been terrible. I've replaced the hives. They are up and running now, so hopefully we have a good season this year. I've been tidying up at home as much as I can, so we just burnt all of the limbs that fell off in that ice storm that we had in the winter. I finally cleaned up that giant mess. I also got all of the rest of my garden beds set up this week. I mowed down the garden area. I ordered some hardware cloth, and I am going to get that area ready hopefully today or tomorrow. And I plan on getting the garden going hopefully this weekend. It has been raining every single day and has made it impossible to get any work done outside. After I pick up my pigs today, I'm gonna head home, tidy up that area a little bit, pop those guys in there, and then I'll run you through kind of an update on what's going on at home. For now though, I need to get out there, get this camera up, check the other one, and go and pick up my pigs because the day is getting away from me as usual. So let's go have a look at the camera. My dad has obviously been here splitting wood again. I just startled a turkey, but I don't know where it went. As I'm walking along, I can see moose tracks, and this is the path that goes right directly in front of my spot, which is where the other trail cam is. So I just saw some fresh tracks. It'd be really cool if the moose was back on the camera again. I'm just coming up to the camera now, so let's have a quick look. Get out of here! No! It's back! Who is that? Oh, it's just my dad. Oh man, that's a huge deer. Okay, so the moose is back and a huge doe standing right behind where the camera is. So this is great. I can't wait for rifle season for deer this year. This is gonna be awesome. All right, so the other trail cam's out. I checked this one, and now I need to get out of here and go pick up my pigs because these bugs are horrendous. Okay, as you can see, the pigs have made it to their new home. I fixed up the little hut in here that I used to have for my other pigs, so hopefully this works for them. I mean, it should. They did not enjoy being picked up out of the crate and put in here though. I'm really excited to actually have pigs back in here again. It's been a bit since I've had pigs in here, and I've never done pigs for meat before, so this will be a new experience for me. My plan is to keep them in this area for a while, and then I'll extend this way with hot wire. I have a big area here, or a somewhat big area here, that doesn't have any purpose at the moment. I just cut the grass there, so it'll be good to put up some hot wire there and have a bigger space for them once they're a little bit bigger and they understand that this is where they live. But for now, this will be fine. Now that I've got the pigs all settled, I need to move on to the next thing that's going on around here. So when I planted my potatoes earlier this year, we got a major dumping of rain, and it actually drowned out half the patch of the first plot that I planted. So I do have a few potatoes left over. Thankfully, someone had gifted me some, and there were a handful of them that we didn't get to eat before they started sprouting. So I'm gonna plant those and hopefully they grow well. So I'm gonna go down there, plant those potatoes quickly, and then, well, there's no shortage of projects, so I'm gonna move on to the next thing. What are you doing? You ready to see the pigs?
Yeah. What?
Look at their curly tails.
Aw, they're so cute.
Look how zoomy they are.
Yeah.
As you can see, it is now the next day. As soon as I finished filming that little part about the pigs yesterday, clouds came over and it started raining. So I am back out here again today, and it's overcast again, and it's definitely gonna rain soon. So I do need to get going on a few things that I need to get done. Like I was saying yesterday, this week has been insanely busy with sports and just all kinds of other stuff that it's kind of put me behind at home. I also took the weekend off last weekend, and I went out and I wasn't here at all. So that also kind of played a part in it. The weekend was amazing. I definitely needed that, but now I'm standing here with rain looming in the background thinking, oh my God, I have so many things to get done. As you can see behind me, this is not full of meat birds. I was just adding the chicks into here that I had hatched a little while ago. They're done in the brooder and they're ready to go out here. I usually put them in here before I introduce them into the actual chicken coop because they're too small right now. They'll get pecked to death by the other chickens that are in there. And not to mention, I have some sort of weasel thing living under the chicken coop, so those things will get picked off right away. I am gonna put a camera out there tonight and see what I can catch on there and hopefully be able to remedy that situation. My chickens went in for processing this week and I got them back on Monday. The first round is already done and my second round will be here at the end of June, I think. So another 25 meat birds coming my way. This is great weather to go plant my potatoes though, so I'm gonna head over there and I'm gonna get the last bit of potatoes I have in the ground. I'm gonna quickly run over and feed the animals, and then I'm gonna get started in the garden planting the potatoes and getting the hardware cloth laid out so that I can put my garden beds down. Come on. Okay, as you can see here, this was my first plot of potatoes and it is doing horribly. I'm not sure if you can see just based on the amount of weeds here, but when I look in this whole plot, I planted, I think, I want to say 30. I'd have to go back and watch the other video, but I think I planted 30 potatoes in here. And of the ones that are sprouting, I have 1, 2, 3. I've got about 15, so I'm pretty sure I did more than that, though I think I put 40 in here. Anyways, I only have about 15. I'm gonna go along and plant some more potatoes and kind of fill in the holes that I have here. The sunflowers that blew themselves into here and started growing are actually doing quite well. So this is how my potatoes should be growing. You can see how big these are. So these ones in the front here are planted off my crop from last year, and these ones in the back behind me are planted off the seed potatoes that I got from Abby's work. They're doing pretty well now. They've kind of caught up to the ones that I planted that I grew myself, but this is how they should look right now. So comparing the two plots, you can really see how the rain and the drowning of my potatoes has really affected how they're growing, or in this case, not growing at all. All right, so here's what I'm working with. You can see they've already started sprouting. As I mentioned before in my other video when I was planting originally, because this potato has eyes in multiple spots, you can actually cut this, and I could get 2 seed potatoes out of this. This is all I have, but this is more than enough just for this spot to fill in the holes. I'm not gonna cut these, but just a reminder that you can cut them off into at least a 1-inch cube before you plant them if you want to get more seed potatoes. So, something to keep in mind. Here's one of my potatoes that I planted, and you can see, well, I don't know if you can see, but it's rotten. Half this potato is missing, and it's rotted right off, and it's incredibly squishy and soft. Here's another rotten one. There's all kinds of holes in it. Ugh. What a waste. So just as a quick reminder, normally you would plant these end of March, early April, depending on the growing zone you're in and the weather, of course, but we are in the last week of May right now, so that's how far behind these potatoes are in comparison to the other ones. So, I mean, I'm hoping for the best right now. Oh, no, there's already potato bugs in here. How are there potato bugs already when there's barely potatoes in here? Okay, so I have all my potatoes replanted, and I came in here and did a little bit of weeding. Oh, more potato bugs. The potato bugs are out of control. What I was gonna say was I did a little bit of weeding in here and kind of pulled out the stuff in between the plants. Once I hill these potatoes up, that's when I'll start doing a little bit more weeding. I normally don't have to weed them once they're hilled up and they start growing because they're so big and they kind of all touch together and it shades the ground and nothing usually grows as far as weeds. So once they get a little bit bigger, I'll hill them up and then I'll kind of pick out the weeds that I need to, but I shouldn't really have to do too much after that. So as you can see, I mowed this all down the other day, and what I'm gonna do is lay out the weed barrier across this whole area, put my beds on top of it, and then I'm gonna mulch in between each row. If you watched the channel last year, you'll know that I did mulch in between all these rows. However, I did not get a chance to put down a weed barrier or any cardboard or anything. So basically all the mulch just absorbed into the earth. So you can barely discern what is a row right now and what is part of my garden. So instead of making more work for myself again next season, I wanna lay this out and properly mulch this time. I'm gonna be putting my garden beds east to west, and that way hopefully they don't shade each other out. And that's pretty much it, so let's get started. So this is a 4-foot wide roll by 250 feet long. So I'm gonna roll it down, cut it, and then I'll open it up because it's folded in half. And then I'll just kind of hold it down with some bricks or some rocks and then put the beds on top of it, and it should be fine after that. plan was to just do 2 in a row and do a couple rows of 2, but it looks like I could probably fit 3 in a row. So what I might do is 3 rows of 3 and then just 1 spare one, and then maybe put a trellis on top. I'm not sure. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. All right, I'm having a problem making up my mind about what to do with the layout of this garden, which seems to happen every single season. I can just never make up my mind. I have this vision in my head, and then when I start doing it, I change it 4,000 times. So I'm a little bit thrown off because, as I mentioned, I expected to have a few rows of 2, which would have brought my garden beds out a little bit further. But because I did rows of 3, I have 1 spare one, which I'm probably going to put at the end, but now that I have all this extra space, I don't want to waste it. I don't know. Now I'm kind of torn because I think I might till this and put my corn here because I had to use the corn patch to plant my potatoes because I planted extra potatoes, and now I have nowhere to plant my corn, so I sod cut a layer off of this area that's left, put some topsoil and compost down and plant my corn here. There's a question mark with everything I'm saying right now because I really don't know. I think that probably makes the most sense, so that's likely what I'm gonna do. I did want to leave the front open here for cold frames, which there is still enough room for that. So I think that's what I'll do. I don't know. We'll find out at the end of this video because I have no idea what I'm doing right now.
Jesus. Oh my God, why is that so big?
The kids are just getting off the bus, and since I turned the camera off, I decided I'm going to move their garden. So I just took apart their entire garden that they made, and I was hoping to get it put back together before they got home, which did not happen. So let's see what they have to say.
This is so cool.
How was 80s day?
Great.
Your hair lost all its volume.
I know.
I took your garden apart.
What?
I took apart your garden.
Why?
Well, because I don't know what I'm doing. I just have no idea what I'm doing. So I'm going to put this, because I have 1 extra one. I actually have 10, so I can't make a row with just 1. No, you can't have this. So I'm going to put it here, and then I'm going to put down some of this weed barrier and put your garden on top of that so weeds don't come through it. Because look at that. It's full of weeds. What did you say?
Why do you have the formula?
Oh, I was being you today. I was using your 4-wheeler with your trailer.
For the animals?
Yeah, I did the animals and I moved some stuff, and it's quite handy. Okay, what do you think of your new garden?
It actually looks amazing.
Yeah, it's much better, I think, on this because you won't get any weeds through it. Oh, I can fill it back in. Well, we'll fill it back in when we're filling in all the rest of these, but right now I'm going to get the chainsaw and cut some of those dead limbs off, and then you guys can use the 4-wheeler and the toboggan and then drag them down here because we have to put some in the beds, and then Mason has soccer.
Okay. Let's do that.
The kids started filling up the garden beds already. They've already put wood in a few of them. I can hear them coming back down with another load of sticks. There's actually more branches in there than I thought there was going to be, so hopefully we have enough to fill up the rest of these beds. When you're filling a garden bed, you want to make sure you have lots of stuff in the bottom for drainage. So either sticks and branches like we're using, you can use rocks, you can use cardboard, you can use all kinds of stuff, but it's good to have different layers of things in your bed. Once I put this in, I will be putting chicken bedding on it, I'll be putting soil in there, and then I'll also be putting some compost or manure or worm casings or something. I've got lots of stuff, so something will be going in each one of these beds. Another thing about putting stuff in the bottom of your garden beds is it takes up space in your bed, which means it's less soil to fill it up. So if you're paying for soil, it does cut down on the cost. I'm gonna wrap this up here though, because we have to head to sport. So we're just gonna finish putting the rocks in here and the sticks. And then tomorrow, hopefully we'll get the soil in here and then we'll be able to start planting our stuff, which I'll show you in a separate video. That's pretty much it for this video though. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram @_livingdifferent. A bit of an inside look into what our life looks like day to day. Don't forget to check out the website www.living-different.com. When you first enter the website, a box will pop up and it'll ask you if you want to subscribe to a weekly newsletter. The newsletter comes out every Sunday at 9 a.m. But if you don't want to subscribe to that, that's totally fine. Just hit the X and you can continue browsing the website as normal. The newsletter usually includes tips, tricks, gardening stuff, kitchen tips, all kinds of stuff, and basically just any kind of homesteading tip you can think of. It also includes products that I love and why I love them for the homestead, and it always includes one of my favorite recipes. That's it for this video though. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye.